Hello and welcome back, Gabrielle. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing fantastic. So, remind the audience, you live all the way out in New York, correct?
Yes, I live out here in good old Brooklyn, New York.
I love that. I'm so jealous. New York is definitely still on my travel list. I need to get out to New York. I want to do that.
Well, let me know if you ever come out here to take you
Oh,
to
I
some
will.
places. Yeah.
For sure. Where would we go? Where would be the first place that we would stop?
Hmm. I'm trying to I'm trying to think on a budget. Let's see. I mean, there's a ferry in my neighborhood, a cheap water taxi, so we can do that. There's also a pie store in my neighborhood as well. So if you like pies, you can go there. Go to a couple diners, some restaurants. So give you the taste of the maybe not the expensive New York life, but the affordable, reasonable ones.
I love the affordable, reasonable one. I really do. I think that's fantastic because yes, um, that's wonderful. I would love to go out there and go visit at some point. So if I ever make it out that way, I will definitely let you know.
All right, absolutely. Please let me know.
Yes, I have a couple of friends to go visit out in New York, so that would be fun. Good stuff.
I see you have to build a whole itinerary.
Yeah, it's a good thing I have a travel agent. Just go ahead and just make her just have all of these itineraries. That'd be awesome.
I want to go
Oh, for
here. I want
fun.
to go here. I want to go here.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. I would like you to remind the audience of what you do.
All right. Well, I am the owner and director of a Step Ahead Tutoring Services. So my company provides one-on-one tutoring, college counseling, test prep. We also have some workshops as well. So we provide these services in person to our local area, which is New York City and Long Island. But we also do it virtually as well. So wherever you are in the United States, you can use our services as well. But yeah, so we do provide most mainly tutoring services. Oh, and I forgot, sorry, I also forgot editing and proofreading as well. So if you have an essay, a PowerPoint, paper, if you need anything looked at, proofread, revised, hit us up.
I love that so much. So when you say us, what exactly does that mean?
So it's kind of it's funny talking in third person plural, but it's myself and a couple tutors under me, so we are very small at the moment. I myself tutor under my own company, and I also have two people under me as well. So it's funny talking in the third person plural, but when I'm the main facilitator, but it is a team of people. So it's myself and two other people.
I love that. You know what? I noticed that you said it's kind of small, but okay, with Cozumel right around the corner, I want to go ahead and I want to take a flashback into your past. When you were building this dream and you saw yourself becoming the woman that you are with two other tutors below you, how exciting is that? Because you saw her, right? Like how many years ago did you see her and see where you're at today? Or even months?
Well, um, I saw myself in a different light, to be frank. Um, I saw myself with like a bunch of people under me, and I saw myself with like 100 tutors, 200 tutors under me, like being really, really big. But as time went on, as life happened, Those goals have changed a bit, so I've kept the numbers really, really small, because I am a one-woman show, so I did realize it is a lot for one person, so I scaled that back down a bit. And then the pandemic happened, and I I lost a handful of tutors, unfortunately. So that scaled back even more. So now I'm working with a small group of people, but my hope is to get back up again. I think in the past few years, my vision has changed a bit to maybe I might keep my numbers small, but just build more of like the podcasting side more. So not so much focusing on hiring a large staff, but just expanding expanding the brand part more, if that makes sense. So I think, and
Yeah.
also talking with other tutors, one of them told asked me, what is the goal? And the goal may not necessarily be hiring more tutors. It might just be focusing on yourself, but just expanding more of your services or raising rates or things like that. So in talking that over with her, it just got me thinking, is hiring necessarily what I want to do, or do I want to add more things that will allow me to do things more myself and not so much having other people under me. So something like tutoring consultation, like if somebody wants to start their own tutoring business and doing those consultations, like something that would allow me to be more active in the company and not so much having to rely on hired staff, although no shade to them, but just your goals may be different. So it just, the lady I was talking to, she got me thinking, like, is hiring people really the main goal, or how do I get to the same place without focusing on hiring and focusing more on myself and what I can do? So my vision has changed multiple times over the years. So I'm figuring all that out now. So to answer your question, I saw myself in a different light, and I kept rebranding myself over the years. And as a result of life events, so personal life events, as well as the pandemic, it really did kind of knock me off, knock my foundation. So now it's causing me to rebrand and rebuild and look at myself in a different way.
I love that though, because there is so much like when it comes to an entrepreneur, yeah, like you do see yourself in one way and then circumstances hit and then you see yourself in a different way and it's always changing. It's always evolving. But the bottom line is you don't give up. You just pivot along with it, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Things change, and I think you see yourself one way, but then things happen and you have to adjust. So you definitely want to put yourself in a frame your business in a way that is adjustable to life events. So God forbid there's another pandemic. um, you know, and don't be surprised if there is another pandemic. Um, your business needs to survive in in one way or another. And so how do you do that? How do you make your business more fluid to adjust to multiple changes?
I love it. It sounds like you definitely have a lot of wisdom inside of you. That is incredible. Guys, this is what I'm talking about, like networking and just talking with people and just hearing their story and then learning like there is a lot of depth to people and it is incredible once you start hearing and talking and networking with other people. It's not just like what they do and how they do it and everything, but it's also like how they got to where they're at, and all of that is the golden nuggets within. And I love just shattering that open and just finding all the little golden nuggets. So
Absolutely,
absolutely.
absolutely. And just even just looking at you, right? And how you're building your business and you're building your brand and you're helping other people discover their brand, discover themselves. How do you take that and put it on social media so they can visually see their brand? And you were, doing a Facebook Live, and now you're going through Zoom to do the live, and you're doing it in your group. So all about expanding and trying new
Exactly.
things and learning new things and taking risks.
Exactly. Okay, so how was it? What was like your aha moment when you realized that you have a niche or an act for helping people with their studies? How did you figure that out? Like some people when they graduate school, they were like, "Yeah, I am done and good luck, bro." So how did you figure out that you have like a nurturing side to you and that you're actually able to like help students and college students get better at what they're doing?
Um, I consider myself a self-aware person. I always knew I was the smart kid. I was on the honor roll all the time, and helping other people, while I was in school. So it's like I always knew I was the smart kid. So an opportunity came up for me in college because I received a work study grant. Uh, Pretty much, the school gives you a grant for you to go find a job, pretty much. So I was like, well, I want the money. I gotta find me a job. So um, I looked at the list of I don't remember, but there was a list of something, and I was looking at it, and there was a after school program looking for a tutor. So I was like, oh, I'm smart. I can help some kids, right? So I did that, and I applied, and I realized that I loved tutoring, and it's it's not just the academic part that you're helping them with, but you're building connections, you're developing rapport, you're breaking things down for them, and it's that light bulb that goes off in their head, and that is like instant gratification for me when they're like, oh my god, I actually get it, like the way my teacher explains it, I have no idea what they're talking about, and then you explain it and it's so simple, and it's like, wow. So just seeing the, the 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 wheels turning and just seeing things click for them, that was gratification for me. And so I kept at it. So I kept at it through other after school programs. And then I worked for two companies after that. And then those companies shut down. So I continued privately after that. And then eventually I just decided, you know what, I want to put my name on it, put a business name on it, get myself a DBA. And I took that leap of faith, and I want to be able to hire people, which is what motivated me to start the business. Oh, I would love to have some people under me, and I want to work for myself and not anybody else. And I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna dive right in, and that's what I did. Here I am.
Oh, that's beautiful. So then when you say that the children's eyes light up or young adults' eyes light up and they
Young adults,
finally
yeah.
understand it. Yeah. Do you have a favorite story or maybe like a favorite incident that happened like they finally got it?
Um, I gotta think about that. All right, so I'll give this one. Sorry, I'm hearing it. Is that me? Sorry, I'm hearing an echo.
Oh
Okay,
no,
that
is there an echo?
okay.
Is it gone?
Yes.
Perfect.
No, I just heard an echo. Is it?
If
Okay,
you
I'm
have
just
Facebook
yeah,
open, you might be hearing the feedback through Facebook. So make sure that Facebook is muted.
okay. Echo.
Yeah.
No
Is that
echo. Good.
better?
Okay. Okay, it was just me. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, so I had one student, he was 8 years old at the time, and he was very hyper, so not ADHD hyper, but just hyper, like always um like he didn't he he was always moving around, and there was a lot of redirecting that I had to do. So sorry, I'm still hearing the echo. Okay. So yeah, so with him, his issue was English. So, well, not English, but reading. So it was getting him to answer questions and getting him to focus, and just is a lot of redirecting and getting him to let's come back, let's finish this, it's a lot of, I'm trying to think of the word to say, but it was encouraging him to finish the task, right? So, because he gets easily distracted. So, and then he's young, right? He's 8. He's like, "Oh, I want to play." I was like, "No, we gotta work," right? So, so things like making it fun for him and taking, let's say there were like 20 multiple questions, so having him do like 3 at a time. Like, okay, let's do these 3, and good job, and keep going. So a lot of motivational phrases, praising, right? Keep going. You can do this. You're doing a great job. Let's keep going. So doing 3 at a time, 3 at a time, 3 at a time. And then encouraging him to read the story out loud. So he can practice his reading fluency, and just asking a lot of questions. So just to get a sense of him understanding. So it was a lot of work, a lot of prodding, a lot of bring it back, let's focus. We're not done. We got to keep going. We're almost there. So it was a lot of redirecting, right? So the mom stops the tutoring, financially she had to stop. But then the mom reaches out to me on Facebook, like maybe like 5 years later, and she says, I appreciate everything that you did for my son. He's now in high school, and he wants to be a lawyer, and he took his regents. Well, regents is a type of test in New York. But he took his one of his regents he took earlier than like his counterparts, and now he's like he wants to go to college, and he has all these prospects. And I was like, what? That same little boy that had a hard, that was difficult in getting him to do stuff, and now all of a sudden he has all these big dreams and aspirations. And the mom told me he wants to go to law school, and I was like, whoa, that's huge, and it wasn't a long time that I was with the boy, but just that small impact changed his life, and changed the course of his life and what he wants to do with himself. And I think the mom followed up again with me years later, which is like he's doing really well, and he's able to get his work done more. So when I hear stories like that, it's like, I did that? Really? Wow. That's so crazy.
Oh, that's
So
a beautiful story.
yeah. So it's I keep telling myself it's all it takes is a seed, right? It's just planting seeds, right? So the session may only be like 3 months, right? And then that's it. Or a lot of the times parents call us because they want their child to pass a test. And then once the test is done, that's it, right? So there's a lot of short-term clients, but even that can make a difference, because they passed their test, and now they're able to go on to the next level, which allows them to get them closer to the goal of graduating, or even just building self-confidence, which is one of the foundations of my company. Is it's not just grades that we build, but it's self-confidence as well. So the fact that they can believe in them, excuse me, that we can help students believe in themselves more, and showing them that, hey, you can accomplish this and go even further than that, that takes them so far in life, and that takes them so far in school, as well as their professional lives and their social lives and all that. So everything is interconnected. So once you fix one, you fix all. And that's how I built my company.
Oh, I love that so much. Um, I am saying hello to Brenda Lee. She just said hi. I love that story so much. And then for the mother to reach out to you 5 years later, like
Mm,
you must have made like a really awesome impact on the family's life and then also the child's life for a parent to reach out 5 years later and give you another update. Like that's awesome. And how, I guess, privileged would be the word to like
mm.
still be included in the family's life, even though, like you've been removed from the family now for 5 years. So,
Yeah, that's the beauty of social media, right? It's like you can keep up with your parents, but yeah, like I even, there's a few other clients that's been with us for many years, right? I have one client, her daughter, I had her daughter when she was going into fourth grade, and now she's in eighth grade now. So I think we've had her for 4 years, 4 or 5 years. So just the fact that, we have some students that grew up with us. I think even that is a privilege, and that is a reward in itself. And that is the gratification, right? So things like that, when you have students that grow up with you, that come back to you, I think that's meaningful in itself.
oh, for sure. And then I'm sure that it's been awesome to also watch, as you said, social media and technology evolve where you're like, okay, I don't just have to work outside of or inside of New York anymore, or, take the bus and go sit side by side next to my students. I mean, now, like you said, you can go virtual like we're doing now. It might be a little bit harder for those 8-year-olds that like to bounce like flubber, but I mean it can be done. So how incredible is that now? And how has technology impacted your business and helped it grow?
Yeah, so I think because of the pandemic, it did force me to innovate. Um, but I would say with the help of technology, there is a lot of resources now. It's more available than ever. So there's a lot of, and I also noticed it in schools too, like teachers are printing out handouts more than making it themselves. But how has technology helped? I think with like I've said it on other shows, but everything is on the internet, right? So there's websites where you can have practice problems, right? Videos, oh my God, YouTube, YouTube is it. So YouTube is life. Um, so there's instructional videos and how to write an essay, how to break it down. Like, pretty much everybody has a YouTube channel now. Like I think with the explosion of YouTube, and there's um like Teachers Pay Teachers. That's a website that teachers, they create like worksheets, handouts, and they put it all up there and they sell it. So you can download resources from there. I personally use IXL, which gives practice problems. Khan Academy is another one that a lot of schools are using now, actually, and it's integrated into their curriculum, which is practice problems, and it's the whole class is literally on Khan Academy, SAT prep. So basically, it's all of these resources are out there that you can just purchase and print. You don't have to make questions up anymore, which has its pros and cons. But I think because the availability of worksheets, of practice problems, of websites that do it for you. There's another website, if you ever have to like graph an equation, you type in the equation and it'll do it for you. um, which again has its pros and cons, but basically, because of all these websites that are now available and all these handouts that are available that you can just print, and um, YouTube and every videos are everything, it makes learning easier and it makes explaining things easier. So it helps with virtual tutoring in that, especially on things like Zoom, where there's a whiteboard, and if you invest in a digital pen, you can write on the screen and have the other student write on the screen as well. There's screen sharing, you can watch the video, do some practice questions. So I think because of the explosion of technology, the ease of technology, and especially collaborating on technology, it makes learning more fun. It makes it easier. It makes it more convenient. And it's less work placed on the teacher. It's less work placed on the educator. And, to be able to say, um, let me explain it this way. And then, you know what? Here's a video to explain it better. It's makes things more visual, and it also provides more information. So I think because there's all these resources that are available now, it makes learning easier to conduct, and it also makes it easier to learn. And the information is readily available. And you always need teachers, but if you ever need additional practice or additional understanding, or maybe you just have no idea what the teacher's talking about, you could always just get on the internet and play a YouTube video and be like, oh, you know what, that makes sense. I don't understand what the teacher's saying, but Mr. YouTube man explains it better. So yeah, so it makes learning more convenient, more accessible, and it takes the labor off of the educator.
Yeah, absolutely. So then what is your favorite topic to teach? Do you have a favorite topic that you love to teach?
Um, I would say math.
Math.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's easier for me to explain, um, as opposed to reading, where that's more reading comprehension and looking for the information in the story. But math is more numbers, so, and drawing things out. So I think it's my preference is math.
Gotcha. No,
Mhm.
that's awesome. Math was not my strong suit. Nope. Nope. That's awesome. Oh, for fun. Um, I just had another question. Okay, so when you were talking, so okay, tutoring is not all that you do because we talked about that. And you have had me as a guest on your podcast. I would like it if you just kind of plugged in, your podcast and your vision and where you want to go with that.
Yeah, so you were a guest twice. So my podcast is called Hot Topics. It is still under my tutoring company, but my goal with that is to bring topics that are popular in education or somehow connected to it, bring it to the forefront and bring in guest speakers to talk about that. So whether well then I also don't limit myself to education. I will say that. So I bring things like entrepreneurship, self-care, mental health. So things that are very, very important to us. But then also somehow education can be funneled through it one way or another. Those are the topics that I bring to the forefront, and I have guests. They come on and they talk about their experiences and they explain it. So like you came on my show twice. The first one you did was about entrepreneurship. What are entrepreneurs doing wrong? And I had that topic several times. So you are one of the people that did that topic. And then you came on again to talk about entrepreneurship and motherhood. So that was the second time I did that topic. So you were another speaker for that as well. Um, so entrepreneurship is a big one, education is a big one. So my podcast is about, I try to have a teaching angle to it, and that's I avoid like people with businesses. I don't want them plugging their product for the whole show. I say it's more like, okay, what is your product address? What is your product trying to solve? And let's focus on the problem first. So when I have my preliminary meetings, I try to structure it in a way where we say like, all right, what's the problem? And now what's the solution? And then here's your product, right? So it's more, I try to have more like a kind of a workshopy teaching angle to it. So I say things like okay, let me just give an example.
Yeah,
If I can, I'm just going to use you as an example again.
go for
So
it.
the first one, what are entrepreneurs doing wrong? Um, I know your business is all about helping other entrepreneurs kind of figure out who they are and how to take that and put it on social media, right? So with that interview, what I was trying to get you to say, because I was being manipulative in a way, but it was more of like what's the struggle that entrepreneurs have, and I wanted you to talk more about that and because your focus is social media, right? So I was maneuvering the interview in a way where you would say, how do you use social media to visualize someone's company? And also, what is it about their company what is it about the company that they want out there? And also how, because you also, so I'm trying to figure out how to explain all this, but
You're so fine. It's so good.
and how to take their personalities, right? Who they are, what they believe in, what their mission is, and how to put that in an Instagram reel or a Facebook reel, things like that. Um, so not so much. So I wanted you to identify the problem, right? Like, why do you exist? That's basically the question I wanted you to answer. Why do you exist? Why does your company exist? Why do people need you? And then why did you create what you create? And then we talk about the solution to that. And then we plug your business after that. So I think that's the model that I do in most of my shows is what's the problem? What's the solution? Okay, now we plug your business. So that's the format that I take for my podcast. And That's what I put out there. So I'm all about, let's identify the problem. Okay, what's the solution to the problem? Okay, and let's promote your product. And that's the
So
format
looking back at that, and I'm like kind of hearing some of the podcasts and how it went, I don't know if I followed your structure.
It's okay.
I think I was a difficult guest. I think I just kept on running around it.
And then you had your child screaming in the background, which is funny. But
Oh yeah.
uh yeah,
Oh
but
yes.
that
My little
brings up an
2-year-old.
but that brings up another issue of, since we're talking about entrepreneurship, right? How do you conduct your business with children screaming in the background, right? So it's, that's another element that I wanted to show. But so the chaos of the show actually added to the beauty of it. But
Loved it.
yeah, I think so there is a lot of, and generally speaking, not just focusing on you, but generally speaking, there is a lot of maneuvering, but I try to follow that um follow that format. Is, identify the problem, identify the solution, and then we promote your product. So that's what my show is basically all about, is, identifying problems in the education world and the entrepreneurship world, mental health world, and then what's the solution to that.
Absolutely. So then I keep on having these huge brain farts. Like all of a sudden I have a question and then I just like forget. Um, okay,
Take your time.
no. Oh my Lanta, this is awful. I've got the two in the afternoon sleepy. Is you think that I would be full of energy without the kids home because they're at school. Oh man. Um, okay, so then how do people go ahead and get a hold of you for your services? Because school did just start and but it's already like week number 4, and there might be some students that already, need help. And so how do they get a hold of you for your services?
Absolutely. Well, the best way is you can find us online. Our website is www.stepaheadtutoringservices.com. So that is the best.
WW.
Should I
Step.
put, or I just closed
Yeah,
the
otherwise
window?
I was doing it.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
a step ahead tutoringservices.com. That is the website. You could also check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, well, formerly known as Twitter, um, TikTok, Eventbrite. So we're on a lot of social media platforms. You could also check us out there as well. But I would say the best way is through our website.
okay. Because I'm a really slow typer, I just put out check her website. So I'll let you type it out, friend, so I don't misspell it. And then people
You
are
want
like,
me
this
to?
isn't where I was supposed to go. Oh,
All
for
right,
fun.
all right. So I just closed the window. So I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Where are you?
Perfect.
Okay, there you are. There you are. This is interesting. This is my first
What part?
live. Do I have any questions? Thank you for that. Hello from Jamaica. Oh, no questions. Okay. So let me just type it
There were
in.
no questions.
Okay. Tutoring. So I'm typing it in the chat right now. So I just typed my website in there, and I'll also put my step ahead tutoring. I'll also put my Facebook page as
Yeah,
well, so you guys can follow me on Facebook as well.
absolutely. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. Because yeah, that would have taken me some time to go ahead and copy and paste. So thank you. So yes. Oh, I was hoping for a question today, but that is a-okay. So cool. Is there anything else that you would like us to know about your business that I didn't ask that you're like, I really wish you would ask this question?
Um, I guess, I guess I'll say this. I have a homeschooling 101 events coming up on November 2nd. So if there are any parents that you're considering homeschooling for your child, which is basically, taking your child out of the public school system, private school system, and doing the teaching yourself. There you can do that legally. So if you are interested in learning about homeschooling, or you just want to know what it's about, or maybe you want more information, I encourage you to check out that event coming up on November 2nd at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll also put that link in the chat.
Absolutely. That's huge because,
Yeah.
yes, I've gone back and forth on pulling the kids out. Do they stay? Do they go? Do they come home? Like,
Mhm.
I have been so up in the air with what I want to do with the kids and their education. So I think it's amazing you're putting together this class. So, yes, please put it in the chats and then also make an individual post so that way more people will see it too. So,
Okay, I will do that. Let me.
that is what this group is all about, self-promoting and just letting people know what we have going on and what we're doing. So,
Yeah, it's better for
yes,
us on the phone. Let's do this. We're gonna do this. Okay. So, okay, so copy. Okay.
then if anybody watches the replay, go ahead and just do a hashtag replay. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and type them out, even though we are no longer live. Gabrielle is very active in the group, so she will see if you have any questions for her. So,
Yes,
yes.
yes. Please type your questions. You could DM me. So yeah, please reach out. Okay, so all right. So I just made a post where it's loading now. Okay.
Perfect.
So I made an individual. Wait, I just posted. Great. Did it go through?
Yay.
Okay.
I
So I
love it.
made.
This group is getting so busy in a good way. I absolutely love it.
All right. So I made an individual post in the group.
Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, friend, for sharing your business, your podcast, what you've been up to, and, you know, so where you came from, and then your vision and how you got to where you are today. And then also just pivoting in life and taking, each moment as it comes and manifesting in a different way. So thank you so much, friend, for sharing.
Thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Absolutely. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign out where I am Amber McCarty with Meticulous Engagements, where it is my business to know your business so I can help share it with the world. All right, bye, friends.